Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I am joined by the lovely Zin. Say hello, lovely Zin.
Hello, lovely Zin.
She's returned. I'm BoredGamer. I've also returned, but from less of a break. I say break. Are we okay to talk about your appendices?
Yeah, well, I've only got, I haven't got any in now.
No, I've had one of them removed. Now I've only got one appendix left. So, yeah, Zin's been out for a little while after having a well-deserved holiday. She then had a well-deserved sick leave for appendicitis. So, how you feeling? You all better now? You mostly better now?
Yeah, mostly better now.
Did kind of ruin your holiday though, didn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
And you still haven't completed Final Fantasy VII, the new one. The new one, part 2. But yeah, so Zin's back. She's live. She did a little tiny bit of work last week, but I think she's mostly back now. So
I'm off the antibiotics now. They were making me very tired and a bit dizzy. So
okay, perfect. Well, not perfect, but I'm glad you're off them now. That's good. I think a lot of people are going to be happy that your lore videos will be coming back. I have thought about as well, since you've been away, NordVPN ad stuff. We'll work out whether people like just a quick little bespoke NordVPN mention or sponsorship mention at the end of the videos, or if we want to do those animations, or as you've said to me, maybe we should use that time for other types of animation or something that's not necessarily an ad. But people tell us in the comments below what you sort of want to see. Do you like the silly Nord ad, or would you like to see something else? And any suggestions for that? Obviously, I want to make some extra money at the end of videos from sponsorships and other things that I think are relevant to people that might watch the channel. But if you've got suggestions and ideas, feel free to share them. So, Zin, you've been away for a little while. Much has changed.
Everything's been going on.
Yeah, so there's Overdrive events, there's new ships, there's Alpha 3.23, loads of new features for that. That's an EVOCATI testing, might go to Wave 1 soon, but might not. We're sort of waiting on that. Fleet Week is coming in May, but it's sort of run up to that. Star Citizen has started talking about 4.0 and Star Citizen 1.0, an actual commercial release. There's been a load of CitizenCon hype. So there's a lot going on, and let's start somewhere. Let's start with the new ships, seeing that I've got those on my list of things to talk about. Misk Raptor. Do you know much about the Misk Raptor?
I saw your thumbnail on your video for it.
Gotcha. So yeah, Misk Raptor, absolutely fantastic April Fools from CIG this year. It is a little street sweeper vehicle, and CIG left breadcrumbs and put out some teasers of it to trick leakers and sort of feed the community of there's a Raptor coming and it's going to be in some sort of new ship. So obviously lots of people go, oh, it's going to be this new combat ship. Even me, like, oh yeah, it's called a Raptor. It's going to be a small combat ship or vehicle. And it is. It combats dirt and grime on planets. But it was this $50 vehicle, which is not real. It's not purchasable. It was an April Fool's. What do you think of that as an April Fool's?
I think it's great. I think it's a bit ingenious.
It is ingenious. Do you think they should make it? Or do you think they have made it? It's just for NPCs or something?
Yeah, I think it might be an NPC thing if it's ever going to exist. Like,
people are going to steal them. If NPCs have got them, people are going to work out a way of getting them. But it makes sense to have street troopers in the game. It just doesn't make sense to sell them.
Yeah.
As a oh my god, as a way of generating money.
I think maybe have it so that it's an NPC ship. You can steal it, and it is effectively, it works. You could go around clearing up rubbish if you really wanted to, but if you tried to stow it, the game would just go, hang on a minute, this isn't yours.
I see what you mean. I think having stuff like this in game is actually probably going to happen. There's probably going to be a load of silly little utility vehicles and forklift trucks and things like that. And that chassis they've shown, I think, is actually going to be used for a lot of different stuff. So remove the cleany bobs, have it as a forklift, have it as lots of other things, right? Because you look at the video, there's a lot of time and effort spent into that video, and I think that we're going to see these sort of things in-game, and I do think there might be missions for players to use stuff like this, to do forklift, or dumb little silly missions, or as part of cargo gameplay, people can do this sort of stuff if they want to. Now, do you think that's something that players should be able to do, or do you think that's something that maybe is going a bit too into the, or if you really want to play this, because maybe CIG should be working on other stuff, or what do you think? I
mean, it was an April Fool's.
That's fair. Like, I'm reading too much into it.
Like, I think they've put the appropriate amount of manpower into it, and I don't think they've wasted anything. To be fair, it's community interaction at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's fun. They want to play around the community. The community is what made the game, so not physically. Obviously, it's the devs, but I mean, they gave them the money so they could do it. Something that is real, though, Zin, much more real, is the Hornet Mark II. So these are pegged to be just a better version of the Hornet Mark Is, which the old Hornets are now referred to as Mark I. And it is, at the moment, just the F7C Mark II, so the civilian version, and technically the F7A Mark II. Now, although they're pegged to just be better, they're sort of described and marketed to be better, we have no real idea how they're going to balance against the old Hornets until we have master modes and a more developed, refined game and balance to that.
Yeah.
But do you like the idea of a smaller, sleeker, slightly higher firepower, more firepower Hornet, effectively as its own hull, or do you think this is CIG gone mad with marketing and trying to make an extra buck?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. Like, I can see where people are coming from for both sides, you know? Yeah,
so Zin and I have briefly talked before this as well about the marketing for the Hornet Mark II, some people being upset about that. Basically, there's the Overdrive event that's ongoing that the Hornet Mark II is part of. The Overdrive event being a series sort of every week, more and more missions coming out that people can get involved with, that then leads up to a Xenothreat event like we've previously had, but the Overdrive event sort of like encourages you to buy a Hornet Mark II, because if you complete all the missions in the Overdrive event, you get a free upgrade from the Hornet F7C Mark II to an F7A Mark II, the military version. So you're encouraged to basically buy one. So you're saying it's a bit of marketing, but also you like the idea of it as well.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Do you think that there should be events that are focused on that? Or do you think the Overdrive event isn't really focused on that? That is just and there's something else with this event as well?
I think it's a bit of and there's something else with this as well.
Yeah. The Overdrive event, people seem to be genuinely enjoying it and getting really engaged with. It is a cool thing. I would love to see more stuff like Overdrive. I'm okay with CIG's monetization model. I do think it is overly predatory sometimes, and I will say that sometimes, like it was with when they were doing land claims, selling those. And some ships, it is part of their monetization to sell ships. Is it going to be a ship that you can only get if you purchase it? That's too much. If you only can purchase it and you can't get it in-game, that's overly predatory with their monetization. But that doesn't really happen. Sorry, I think you were going to say something before I...
No. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Perfect. Well, that's my job, Sin. I hit nails on heads. I'm like the Star Citizen builder. So me and Zin's partner have been messing around with Suno, which is the song maker, and he introduced it to me by showing some songs he had made about me and Star Citizen. And at some point, I'll have a look at the copyright legalities of it. I'll share some of that with you. But I bought a license to Suno after messing around with it a little bit, because I was like, this is so funny and so fun. But do you think it's funny? Do you think it's a cool little thing, or do you think it's dumb? A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
I think you're using it for dumb things.
Oh, God, yeah. But that's the joy of it at the moment. Yeah. Because if we can generate our own Star Citizen music and BoredGamer music with it, and actually effectively commercially use it, that's amazing. That would be awesome. And obviously there are potentials, and obviously some people are going to be against AI, some are going to be for AI. Feel free to share your opinions on that in a calm and collective manner in the comments below. But I really like the idea of it. And you're going to have people being able to go like, I'm going to design you a whole set of your own music, bespoke music for your wedding, and actually be able to do that in a timely manner. But yeah, it just, I really love the potential for AI is awesome. Obviously there are some fears and some regulation that needs to be sorted out as well. But yeah, okay, Overdrive event, cool, really like it. Get involved with it. I think it's running on until May. It doesn't matter if you've missed the first parts of it, because they're still sort of ongoing. So Zin and I will be jumping in probably this week or next week and playing a load of the Overdrive missions. They are, Zin. Now you know. Now you know we're going to be doing that.
Okay.
That will get you sort of up to spec with what's going on. However, there's also things going on with Alpha 3.23, which is still an EVOCATI. They keep on adding features to this. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the creatures?
No, not really. I think I've seen some pictures and stuff.
Oh no! You got to go see. You got to see them.
Mate, I've spent my time lying in bed just binge watching like series of things.
Not me. not old BoredGamer. Oh, Sin, I can't believe you don't watch my videos when you're ill. Let me find this, and then you can watch it.
I see.
So you basically you got your hyenas, the copians, and you've got the birds, the marak, I think they're called. And the birds, they're sort of non-aggressive, but they fly around, and you can harvest them for bird ambergris, is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
And the little hyenas, they're actually dangerous, and they go around in packs, and you can harvest the horns on their heads. And basically their missions to go out and take out creatures. It was just, I wasn't expecting them to turn up in 3.23.
Oh.
There's also some other cool stuff, so we're going to be hunting those soon. Some of the other cool stuff, they've got the ability to spawn ships in your hangar now in 3.23 with the elevator literally coming out of the ground. So it basically goes, I'm going to open up the floor and a ship is going to come out.
Okay.
So that's really cool because that's part of the personal and customizable hangars that we're also in. And you can bring up vehicles there, drive them off the pad, then bring up a ship there, drive the vehicle into the ship. You can invite people to your persistent hangar and or leave out from there. I really like it. It's sort of moving towards that bespoke and customizable hab type thing. You've got your own little base effectively with your personal hangar. Is there anything that you'd hope to see sort of customization wise with a hangar at this sort of stage, or just the more the better, or anything that CIG can put out is better than nothing?
I mean, honestly, for me, a hangar is just a place to spawn my ship and land my ship.
So is this markedly separate from a hab or a base for you? This is actually... Okay, that's fair. And they are in-game. They are separate things. It's just, I think in the short term, with the customization hopefully we'll have here and some interesting items that we might be able to put in there, I think people will be effectively using it as an ad hoc base. I think the other thing that was big thing that we're getting is there's already plans for a 3.23.x patch, and they're finally bringing in ship modularity. So I started talking about ship modularity maybe in 2013, 2014. Many moons ago, probably 2014, in fact. I don't think I was making videos in 2013. And it's something that I'm really excited to see in Star Citizen. They're basically bringing the Retaliator, which is the torpedo ship, up to gold standard, and then going, you can change out its cargo pods and torpedo pods for cargo pods and torpedo pods, sort of interchange them. There will be loads more modularity for loads of different ships, including the Caterpillar, lots of other stuff. So are you excited for modularity, or do you just see it as more weapon and loadout customization for ships, or is this something that goes, well, actually, this gives loads of ships loads more utility and loads more gameplay?
I think it gives ships more utility, more gameplay. Like, I hope they add more stuff.
Well, they better. It better not just be the Retaliator, because that's not a feature of its modularity just for the Retaliator. It's a small step, but loads of ships are supposed to get out of it, including like the Carrack, obviously the Caterpillar, and expect loads of ships that we already have in game to have a level of modularity with a lot of the ships. A lot of ships are sort of like with the Avengers. Effectively, they can all be just modular versions. They're just changing out the rear, potentially. Some ships are their own hulls. Some ships are technically modules that can just be changed. And I'm really excited. I expect this will go into full production later this year, because we've got things about engineering and physicalized components and all that sort of jazz, which then allows them to go, let's make stuff more custom as well with modularity. But they also need to think about modularity at the same time they're doing stuff like that, because if you're physicalizing components, you don't want to then have to go and redo it all, because you're like, well, actually the modular section doesn't work properly because we've got other components in the way. I'm pretty excited for that. Fleet Week's in. Fleet Week! So this is obviously the first big event of the Star Citizen year. Well, there could be some new stuff here, because there's lots of Squadron 42 stuff that's been updated and refined over the last few months, and they've been putting it into game. But you see things like a Javelin tour, there's a free fly, there's Expo with loads of ships, huge ship sale, cool videos, and there's like the UE fleet flying around, so you can see like Bengal and F7As and F8As and all this sort of military ships. And there could be a load more stuff this year. Do you expect to see more this year than we have previously, or is it going to be probably the same with some new ships on sale?
I think probably the same, just with some new ships on sale. Okay.
As in always the realist.
Yeah. I mean, they are getting a lot of stuff in game that has nothing really to do with the Fleet Week.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm hoping that a lot of that Squadron 42 stuff that they've been working on and refining sort of also comes into it as well. Like, there's a load of military ships they could start showing, I think, and military versions of things.
Idris tour?
Well, so that's a good one, isn't it? Because they were obviously testing the internals of the Idris and Idris boarding semi-recently. And yeah, an Idris tour is a strong possibility, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
things like that.
It'd be nice as well if they had like a Javelin and an Idris going around to separate stations.
Oh, yeah. So that if I'm at one, I don't have to feel like, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
They could just be all over the place. At least I can do the Idris tour here, or at least I can do the Javelin tour here. Okay. No, I like that idea. Bengal tour. Give me Bengal tour.
Yeah.
I think I'd actually get lost on a Bengal. Almost get lost on like an Idris and stuff. So yeah, but they were testing out the Idris boarding stuff. That could be part of Xenothreat updates. That could also be part of Fleet Week. That could be we know it's obviously going to be part of Squadron 42. But yeah, Fleet Week is incoming some point in May, mid to late May. That's sort of when it starts. And very excited. There should be a load of new ships and vehicles and things that also come out around the same time. And that's probably where you're getting your 3.23.x patch, probably. Although, obviously, if 3.23 is late, then that's when you're going to get your initial launch of 3.23. That's a good point. Do you think they're going to be able to make the 3.23 live rough date they wanted in April? They want 3.23 to be live in April. Do you think that's a possibility still?
Maybe.
That is where I am as well.
They've got 3 weeks, basically.
Still in EVOCATI, though.
Yeah, but we've had releases come through, like, PTU in a week.
Yeah, no, you're right. We have had very quick turnarounds sometimes. They have been EVOCATI testing for a long time for this one. It's just not all the features are being properly tested yet, although most of them now are or are in to some extent. Yeah, okay, it's a possibility. I think they're going to be hard pressed to get it released in April now, but it's still possible. And if they're a week or two late, I don't care. That's fine. It is the most meaty patch we've had potentially ever since 3.0. It's like a monumental change to a lot of stuff. And talking about a monumental change, CIG are starting to talk more and more about obviously 4.0. Server meshing tests have gone ahead. They've done loads of server meshing tests with Stant and Pyro and actually being able to jump between the two, but also now 6 servers in the Stanton system communicating seamlessly as part of a single shard. So basically, instead of one server being the shard and Stanton, you've got 6 servers, and potentially they could have more, all for static server meshing coming in 4.0. And it's rapidly moving. Like they're iterating on that loads. There was like 400. Some people had like 800 player servers, things like that. And I think that's starting to make Star Citizen look like an actual MMO rather than just a technical demo for one. So are you sort of excited and expecting 4.0 with server meshing and Pyro system and a load of other stuff to come summer later this year, or maybe a bit afterwards? Do you expect they'll actually be able to get a good patch out and it not to be like 3.18?
I'm hoping so.
Again, I think that's fair.
I think at least before next CitizenCon.
Yes, like they need to get something out before next CitizenCon. I totally agree. Because I think this CitizenCon, which they are hyping now, is going to be much more focused on Squadron 42. Yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Tickets go on sale for that on the 11th of April, and that's to concierge and subs. And then on the 12th of April, they go on sale to the general public. There's 3 waves of sales for that. So I've got a video. Go check that out if you're interested. But CIG are also now talking about Star Citizen 1.0. A actual full commercial release. There was their letter from the chairman in the monthly reports and stuff. They are going, look, we're aiming towards Star Citizen 1.0. We've built out a roadmap to that. We'll share that with you in due course, assumedly later this year after CitizenCon, I would expect. Do you think that we are pushing towards a Star Citizen beta and a live release within the next 3 years?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't discount it, can you?
You can't discount it anymore. It's no longer we're 5 years away. It's no longer, no, there's too much to do. They're getting to the point where they're actually going, well, actually, for a minimum viable product for Star Citizen, which a 1.0 would be, they are able to now probably plan that out and go, yeah, within 3 years of that. Potentially within 2. Like, I know that might be vastly overestimating the ability of CIG to do anything, especially when they've been very poor in the past with times, dates, and delays. But I do think because Squadron 42's got into the shape it has, because it is feature complete, and because they are refining that, I do think that actually getting a good amount of features into Star Citizen Persistent Universe, and then getting it out the door as a version 1 release, and then adding loads more to it after that is very viable. Do you think we'd have at least a dozen star systems for a version 1 release, or do you think that's an impossibility? Or?
So this is something I was literally just thinking about as you were talking about it. One of the biggest problems they've faced with getting Star Citizen into a 1.0 out of alpha, essentially.
Yeah, pushing towards out of alpha,
is server meshing.
Yeah.
And they appear to have solved that problem, even if it's still in development. There's a solution. Server
meshing is working. They just need to refine it and implement it.
Yeah. So the problem they're really going to have is infrastructure. Because obviously having server meshing, it's going to require servers. And we all know about big named games that are initially released and they just crumble. The infrastructure just crumbles because it can't handle it.
Day one, even though they know how many players are playing, even though they have full warning with pre-orders, still collapses.
I think their ability to create star systems is there. They might even be working on it in the background and we don't know about it, but they have the planetary tech. Everything's more or less like they just put in instructions and it's created, essentially.
Yeah. Well, so yes, so semi-procedurally created systems, so partially procedurally generated. They can grow, let's create a planet, let's create a star system, then they will go in and they can even create a certain amount of outposts and a load of mission content there. Obviously, artists do go in and go, let's actually put a lake here or a field here or a major point of interest here. So that it's partially artist driven as well. But yes, I think the years of developing their planetary tools have led to a state where they can very rapidly create star systems now if they want to, and they've just been building out architecture and packs of assets that they can then go reskin, reshade or whatever. So they've got high-tech pack, low-tech pack, mid-tech pack, and then go, well, that's everything that we need to build every star system, or a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'm totally with you on that, Sin.
So yeah, I think it's possible that when it finally gets to a point where it's released, we will have plenty of star systems.
Okay, yeah. And I think you're right with them working in the background with a lot of stuff. I think we're actually going to see the Nyx system pretty soon after Pyro, because I think they've been working on that quite a lot in the background. And that obviously is building towards, in my opinion, the Odin system, which is the Squadron 42, one of the main systems in that, because you go Stanton, Pyro, Nyx, Odin, all in a nice contiguous row. But yeah, thanks for that, Sin. I'm glad that some of our thoughts align on what Cloud Imperium may be doing, especially with content like that, because they can get to a good feature complete stage or a minimum viable product feature complete stage and then fill it with a good amount of content probably pretty easily. Yeah, server meshing probably was the major hurdle to overcome. I think actually persistent entity streaming, oddly, but now server meshing, replication layer, all that sort of stuff. Replication layers in 3.23 as well. Loads of stuff in 3.23. 3.23 is so feature-laden. Oh my god. So much going on. Do you think there's going to be some features slipping out of 3.23 and getting into the 3.23.x patch and 3.24, no, or 4.0?
I don't know, maybe. I'm not exactly on top of what's going on at the moment, so yeah, maybe.
It's okay. No, I mean, to be honest, that's super fair, even just going, maybe, you don't know. I mean, a lot of the time, I should probably say that, but I'm obviously very Star Citizen bullish a lot of the time. I'm like, yeah, they're able to do it. Woo! It's all right. Zin will be more up to date on what's going on with Star Citizen next week, and hopefully you've been informed a bit, at least, what's been going on with this podcast, both you and the audience, Sin. But yeah, that's what I sort of really wanted to talk about. If you've got any suggestions for content or for outros, animations, stuff you want us to cover, stuff you want us to cover with 3.23, what you think's happening with 4.0, 1.0, CitizenCon, Fleet Week, anything like that, chuck it in the comments below. Thank you very much for your kind words for Star Citizen, for Zinya's recovery as well, for Star Citizen's recovery, for Zinya's recovery. Anyway, say goodbye, Sin.
Goodbye, Sin.
Thanks for watching. You take care, guys. Comments below. Woo! Oh, Zin.
Yeah.
Zin, you should get NordVPN. Because if you click on that NordVPN link under my videos, you get a good deal. You get NordVPN. Oh, that means I'm protected for stuff and I can appear anywhere. And it allows you to go on the internet and do stuff. If you want a VPN, check out NordVPN. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but you should click on it. It tells you everything about it. I get money, you get money, everyone's happy. And then we've got a chip giveaway for an F7C Mark II. It's that new fighter, pew, 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 pew. Comment it on any of my videos or podcasts or whatever, and you got a chance to win that. If you want to help support the channel, you should like and subscribe, and maybe click on the join button or Patreon. Shouldn't they, Sin? They should do that, shouldn't they?
Yes, totally.
Perfect. Excellent. Bye.